Welcome to Hump Day Hot Tips. Hump Day Hot Tips give you inspiration to get your imagination going. Remember, these episodes are meant to be suggestions and inspiration, not rules to follow. Así que diviértate and happy humping. Happy Hump Day. Welcome back to another episode of Hump Day Hot Tips. I want to preface this tip by saying that if you hear if someone's knocking at the door or you hear like beeps and people talking and walking, it is because I am currently in a hotel room. I'm spending the weekend in Philly for a work event, and the desk is right next to the door and I am right next to the elevator. So sorry in advance, but I really wanted to get this out here and recorded. So today's hot tip is allow yourself to have a temper tantrum or a meltdown as needed. Now, I know this sounds like really weird, and last week we talked about procrastinating emotions, so this is definitely related to that. So there are times where you're like really upset and you just want to cry or complain or maybe punch a pillow, whatever it is. And a lot of times as adults, we kind of prevent ourselves from doing that. And when we do that, we are preventing ourselves from processing the emotions. And so it just gets bottled up and it still continues to bug us. And then it overflows into other areas of our life. So it is super important, and I've mentioned this before in other podcasts, that it is super important to process your emotions. And this is a way to process it. I don't know at what point we're like, oh, we're not allowed to have temper tantrums anymore. I'm not saying do it in the middle of a store, like a fucking Karen or something. But if you need to go home and bawl your eyes out for seemingly no reason or for a reason, then do so. If you need to just let it all out, let off some steam, hit something, break something, I don't know, for 10, 15 minutes, then do it, because it is going to allow you to process that emotion. Now, I say this with the one caveat is that you need to give yourself a time frame. And this is something that I practice regularly. I get really irritated. I don't care how much thought work that I do. I am easily irritated. And I think it's because I believe that I'm easily inconvenienced, which I'm totally okay with that. So anyways, I get easily irritated. And so there are days where I'm just really mad about random shit. And as you might have heard me talk about, I talk about on Instagram all the time, there are many hills that I will die on. I have really strong preferences about the dumbest shit that doesn't even matter, right? So anyways, the point is that I get irritated really easily. And what I do is I allow myself just to be mad about it for 10, 15 minutes, really mad about whatever it is. Or sometimes I even give myself a day, but I'm okay, I'm going to be mad today, and tomorrow it's going to be back to business. I'm going to get back to doing whatever it is, right? Or I'm going to allow myself to be really upset about this today, and I'm not going to do anything, and I'm going to cry, and I'm going to watch movies that make me cry, and listen to music that makes me cry, and make myself the most saddest person ever. And tomorrow, it's back to business, right? Allowing yourself to just wallow for a little bit. And it seems counterintuitive because a lot of my clients, when I tell them this, they're like, well, then I'm going to keep wanting to do it. And it's no, because you are sad now or you are mad now, but you're trying to get yourself to not be mad, right? So you're not allowing yourself to fully feel it. And then, so it just kind of keeps happening for days on end, versus if you just allow yourself to just really feel it. And then the next day or a couple hours later, you're fine, right? And I know I'm close to 5 minutes, but I want to share a quick example of how this happened. So yesterday I had ordered Grubhub at the hotel room, and apparently they're not allowed to bring it up to my room. fine. I was not aware of this. I wish I would have been told before, but whatever. And the Grubhub driver was so fucking rude. She called me, and when I answered, she immediately started berating me about why I wasn't downstairs. Mind you, I did not know I was supposed to go downstairs, nor did I know she was there. So it was like this whole thing. And I was just like, okay. So I hung up. I went downstairs, not a problem. And I go downstairs and she's not there. And then I call her to find out where she is because I don't see my food. I don't see her. It's a huge hotel lobby. And she's like bothered that I called her and is like telling me that I need to ask the hotel staff and blah, 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 blah. This whole thing. And I was in the middle of a call with a client. And so I was really irritated that this was happening. And so when I hung up, I didn't end up getting my food because she left the wrong order. It was like this whole ordeal. And I was so pissed, but I wasn't allowing myself to be fully pissed on the call with my client because I already had to interrupt the call to go downstairs and get my food because she brought it, when she wasn't supposed to, like all of these things, right? So I continued the call with my client, and thankfully my client was like, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, when I was finished with my client, I just honestly, for the rest of the night, I allowed myself to be pissed. I complained about it to whoever would listen. I kept ruminating it in my head. I just needed to get it out. And I just allowed myself to be super, super upset about it. And today, I feel so much better. And I really believe it's because I allowed myself to be so angry about something that was like seemingly stupid. And I will say it's not stupid if you're thinking this because I did not get to eat. I had to then again leave my hotel room to go get food like late at night because she didn't bring me my food. But anyways, I allowed myself to feel mad. So allow yourself to have a temper tantrum sometimes. Allow yourself to be angry sometimes. Allow yourself to have a meltdown. But I want you to give yourself a time frame before you do it. Don't just let loose, right? Give yourself a day, give yourself a few hours, right? Just play with it and see what works best for you. I will talk to y'all next week. Happy humping. If you want help learning to apply these tips, then this is your invitation to join the Sinvergüenza Symposium. Redefine what it means to be a sinvergüenza and learn to do the things you enjoy without shitting on yourself. The waitlist is open and ready for your name. The link to join is in the show notes.